Hello, everyone, and welcome to our September 2019 discussion regarding the MTA committee materials. And this is your host, Jason Anthony, on this Friday, September 20th, 2019. As you guys know, every month the MTA board meets twice a month. First, in a series of committees that comprises of the following, at least for this month. We have the Joint Committee of Rails at 8:30 in the morning, New York City Transit at 10, Bridges and Tunnels at 1, Finance 1:30, CPOC 2:30, Diversity 3:30. And then on Wednesday, we will have the Audit Committee, Safety Committee at 9 o'clock in the morning, and the full board meeting at 10 o'clock in the morning. So, that being said, we have in front of us page 1 out of 412 of the Joint Metro North and Long Island Railroad Committee book. And let's see what we have. We have the full schedule change on page 106 for Metro North. The track work program for Long Island Railroad on page 139. But now we see something different. We have summary of actions. But we have an epic fail. They did a huge epic fail to the name of our fellow contributor, Matt Camper. If you guys know Matt Camper, you guys should know that his last name starts with K, as of Kiwi, as of Kilo, as of Kimberly, as of King. No as C as Cookie, as of Clayton, as of Chicken. No, it's K, Kilo. But this will be addressed on Monday, that they could correct this epic fail. Continuing on. And of course, like every month, Matt Camper and myself will be reporting this. And I was informed that John from Pipe Power Ally will be there. And our fellow contributor, Andy Randomness, will be there also. So you guys will have extensive coverage of this between Monday and Wednesday. And we have on page 43, Metro North displaying their fall season campaign. See if we can zoom it out a little bit that we can see it on our full page. Okay, here we are. A safety reminder from Metro North. It's fall, so please remember to walk, don't run. That's something that we see every day in the New York City subway, and including our commuter rails. Stand back from the platform edge. Watch the gap. Avoid moving from car to car, especially on a moving train. It's strongly suggested that you could do this while at the terminal, for example, GCT, Penn Station, and at Terminal Brooklyn, or while in any station. Keep off the tracks at all times. Stop using smartphones, tablets for walking on platform stairs or near grade crossings. Your safety is always our first priority. And Metro North with their Tracks campaign, that means together railroads and communities keeping safe. And we have the July safety report from Metro North. We have the performance leading indicators. And now to LIRR. They have the safety report highlights. And we're going to read this paragraph right here. The week of September 23rd, that's National Rail Safety Week, to reinforce safety and the importance of obeying the law, not violating active grade crossing protection. LIRR corporate safety staff, in partnership with MTA Police, New York and Atlantic Railroad, and the New York State Department of Public Transportation Safety Board, will be conducting outreach in the following locations: Woodmere, Deer Park, Inwood, Bethpage, Oceanside, Wyandotte, Hewlett, Lindenhurst, Central Islip, and Stony Brook. These locations generate frequent reports of broken gates and pedestrians walking around the active gates. Teams will be out during the morning and afternoon peak to engage with customers and members of the community about the importance of the safety at these locations. And we have the performance. We have the Great Crosses incident. The leading indicators. The elevator and escalator are injury and traffic report for the month of July. We have the police report, and the highlights for Metro North is that they experienced an increase in the amount of major felonies, 16 versus 7 for the month of August compared to the same period last year. But year to date, Metro North Railroad is down 14, 81 versus 95, and there were 0 hate crime reports on Metro North territory. And here you have the incidents by category. You have murder, rape, robbery, felony assault, burglary, grand larceny auto. For the month of August, year to date. And for Long Island Railroad, experienced an increase on the amount of major felonies, 9 versus 4 for the month of August and compared to the same period last year. Year to date, Long Island Railroad police activity is down 6, 58 versus 64. And there were 2 hate crime reports on the Long Island Railroad territory for the month of August. And you see the same in terms of percentage points. And now we have it system-wide. The hate crimes report. There's an increase on blacks, 7 versus 5, difference of 2. Anti-Semitic was up 1, 12 versus 11. Criminal mischief was down 1, 16 versus 17. Felony assault 1. And here you have the arrest classifications from January 1st. And you see that there's an increase of the amount of arrests, 961 in 2019, and in 2018 we have only 915. And of course we have the PTC update, and we have that that both agencies, the Long Island Railroad and Metro North, have submitted their PTC safety plans to the FRA for approval. Metro North received FRA approval to go to extended RSD. The Danbury branch was placed into extended RSD on August 14, 2019. Long Island Railroad has 3 lines in RSD and extended RSD. RSD continues on the Port Washington branch, Pilot Line 2, with no system anomalies noted since March. And the Hempstead branch entered into an extended RSD on August 19th. And resumed RSD from Babylon to Patchogue, Pilot Line 1 on September 3rd. And this is the key milestones and issues. And again, risks for full PTC deployment by PTC deadline on December 31st, 2020. That's still a risk. They found that the software release includes the design for a safety server interface for interoperability with Amtrak for New Haven, New Rochelle, by Indival Poughkeepsie for Metro North. Complete design for the M8 is for Metro North, and the risk is still there. On Long Island Railroad, on Metro North. The monthly budget report on Metro North, on the Danbury branch, on the Hudson line, scheduling AJT communication transponder, WIU training for Metro North CNS employees to perform installation and maintenance on the Port Jervis line scheduled for this month and next month. Regarding Long Island Railroad, they already submitted the PTC safety plan. Let's go to the information items. Okay, we're gonna read. Okay, see, the September 29th schedule reflects the completion of Metro North Smart Track project between Mount Haven and Woodlawn on the Harlem line in the Bronx. Concurrent with the completion this week, Harlem line in the Bronx station will see significant improvements in train frequencies and travel options. With return of both Harlem line tracks between Hartsdale and Scarsdale, Metro North will be able to restore full weekend service to North White Plains, eliminating the need to originate and terminate trains at Crestwood. The New Haven line customer will see a new early morning train for Bridgeport to New Haven, as well as stops added at Greenwich, to two westbound express trains in the evening to allow faster reverse commute trips to GCT, to that business center. On the Hudson line, the popular Foliage trains return to the Hudson Valley on 3 Saturdays. That will be October 19th and 26th and November 2nd. These three extra northbound trains towards Beacon and Poughkeepsie, with two extra southbound trains returning to GCT. Weekdays, two southbound trains have 1 minute removed from their schedules. There are minor internal adjustments to 14 weekday and 26 weekend southbound trains to accommodate the relocation of track work. That's on the Hudson line. On the Harlem line, the full weekday service is restored to Melrose and Tremont. There will be 7 southbound and 6 northbound midday and late night weekday service added to Melrose and Tremont. The train 324 that departs at 8:01 local train from Mount Vernon West to Grand Central Terminal is restored to the timetable. As a result, extra temporarily uh, Bronx stops are removed from trains 618, 620, 522, and 524. On weekends, there's a significant improvement on the number of trains to serving stations in the Bronx will be stops added serving Melrose, Tremont, Botanical Garden, Williamsbridge, Woodlawn, and Wakefield. All weekend Harlem trains already stop at Fordham. Stops are added to 17 northbound trains and 16 southbound trains. And as at the Connecticut DOT request, there's a new train 1402 departing Bridgeport at 6:57 a.m., which stops at Stamford, Medford, and West Haven, arriving at New Haven at 7:25, providing a train to customers who need to arrive in New Haven by 8 a.m. And as the Connecticut DOT requests trains 1583 and 1587, and it stops at Greenwich at 7 p.m. and 8 p.m., providing new evening express service from Greenwich to Manhattan. Now we have the EEO report, second quarter 2019. The workforce for Metro North, the new hires and veterans, Metro North complaints and lawsuits. Now to the LIRR. We have the TrackWorks program, the NASA One interlocking switch replacement, continuing the program that was reported on previously as part of the Long Island Railroad Forward State of Good Repair Program switches at NASA One interlocking in New Hyde Park will continue to be replaced on the weekends of September 28th and 29th. On Saturday of each weekend, both main tracks of the main line will be out of service, which following service changes will result. Eastbound no MU service will operate between Penn Station and Hicksville, and two hourly Oyster Bay branch diesel service will operate between Mineola and Oyster Bay. For eastbound customers with Western terminals traveling to Ronkonkoma, branch stations Farmingdale to Ronkonkoma, and Port Jefferson branches stations between Hicksville and through Huntington and Port Jefferson will board electric MU Express service to Babylon. They will transfer to a diesel shuttle trains operating between Babylon and Hicksville via the Central Branch, and then transfer at Hicksville to trains either operating Ronkonkoma or Huntington/Port Jefferson. Eastbound Bethpage customer will operate an electric MU Express service at Babylon. So on. Extra trains will be added between Penn Station and Babylon. Epic Fail should say Penn Station, not New York. East Howard interlocking Southside signal testing for a series of 4 weekends beginning October 12th and 13th. Tracks on the southern portion of the Howard interlocking and Queens will be out of service to support the testing of new signals and infrastructure. Due to limited infrastructure within Howard interlocking, there will be system-wide schedule adjustments and some service reductions throughout the weekend. And on the Port Washington branch, the Bayside 216th Street pedestrian bridge demolition and maintenance work. On the weekend of October 12th and 13th for 8 hours in the overnight each day, portions of the Port Washington branch will be out of service for several projects. One, the DOT will demolish the pedestrian bridge over the LIRR right of way at 216th Street and Bayside. On Saturday, October 12th, and on Sunday, October 13th, the LIRR will perform maintenance and testing of the branch. Temporary service adjustments on Saturday, October 12th. Buses will replace trains on the Port Washington branch between Woodside and Port Washington. And on Sunday, buses will replace trains between Great Neck and Port Washington. Now we have the EEO report, the workforce, the new hires and veterans. As you see here, the new hires by gender, there's a huge gap between males and females, 88 and 12. Let's see the procurements. Now we have the operations report. August service was we have August service delivery operated slightly above the goal at 93.1% overall, with 93.4% in peak periods. Year-to-date operate OTP is 94.6% with 93.8% in peak periods. Surge was impacted by severe thunderstorms resulting in downed trees, along with the catenary damages on the New Haven line. Canceled trains, there were 12 on the west of Hudson side. We have a total of 12, 6 on the Port Jervis line, and 6 on the Pascagoula Valley line. 10 of those, they didn't have engineer, and 2 of them had equipment failure. See, that was August. July, we had 14 trains canceled. So in August, we had 12, July 14. So it was down 2. Let's see the performance metrics. And Metro North is right on target. We have the finance report for Metro North. Let's see what else we could find LIRR related. That's the last M2. That's the first series of the Cosmopolitan. The ridership report. On Metro North, the ridership decreased 0.1% versus August 2018. It was 2.3% below forecast. But in terms of ridership per line, the Hudson line saw an increase of 2.2%, while the New Haven and Harlem line saw a decrease of 0.3% each. And this is for August. And on the west of Hudson, data is preliminary. And in July, the ridership decreased 0.5%. But if we compare it between August and July, the ridership of the Hudson line increased more in August than July. Even they did June. Capital Program Status Report. All right, Long Island Railroad. For the month, this is July. On-time performance was below monthly goals at 89.9%. The AM peak period on-time performance registered at 89.8, with PM peak closing at 87.8. So year-to-date on-time performance is 93%, which is 2.7% increased compared with the same period last year. And seasonal, we have seasonal summer Montauk branches. Montauk service continues throughout the month with including early release of the program for the 4th of July weekend. Okay, for August, the the on-time performance on the Long Island on the LIRR was 92.1%, which is below the monthly goal of 94%. The AM peak registered an on-time performance of 95%, with PM peak closing at 90.8%. Year-to-date on-time performance is 92.3%, with an increase of 3% if we compare it to the same period last year. Additional service included seasonal Montauk service and extra service was provided for the U.S. Open in tennis championship, including the qualifying rounds. Branch operations throughout the month of August, 4.8% of scheduled trains arrived between 6 and 10 minutes late after their final terminal. The average delay per late train was 11.3 minutes for the month. There were 117 canceled or terminated trains in August, which accounts for the 0.5% of all scheduled trains for the month. The Fall Rockaway, Oyster Branch, Port Jefferson, and the West Hampstead Branch all operated or are above goal. That's a good thing. And through August, the LIRR has shown a significant improvement in all three operation metrics and both on board fare collection matrix. The financial report for June, the time is 7:12 on this Friday, September 20th, 2019. Now we have the financial report highlights for July 2019. The financial report for August. Alright, we have the ridership report. They started with June. June 2019 total ridership decreased 0.5% to compare this year. They reported 7,736,345. Let's do a little bit of math. And we have So that means in the period of June 20, so that 0.5% decrease represented 37,307 riders less. And we have the ridership report for June. July. See, in July, the total ridership at LIRR increased 1%, comparing it to July 2018. So for July 2018 was 7,909,320, and for this year is 7,990,885, for a difference of 81,565. And for the capital program report, oh, that's it. Well, going forward now, we're going to take a look at transit. And on the picture right there, you have New York City Transit President Andy Byford attended a memorial ceremony at NYPD Transit District 4, located at 14th Street, Union Square, to mark the 18th anniversary of the World Trade Center attacks. Two officers of the command, Mark Ellis and Ramon Suarez, lost their lives on 9/11. In addition to thousands of the first responders, transit workers also provided critical support in the aftermath of the attacks. And we have bus schedule changes for January 2020. We have a special presentation regarding the L train. We have the fare report for the second quarter of 2019. Now let's see what we have on transit. On page 27, you see New York City Transit President Andy Byford clearly on a R32 C train on his way to making station visits on the Upper West Side on August 20th. Byford toured the station with Group Station Manager Sandra Flowers and District Customer Service Manager Cynthia Davis. And we're going to read some of the President Biden's commentary, and he's going to mention the recent announcement of the record 40 billion 2020-2024 capital plan for New York City Transit. Fantastic news for New Yorkers and for our 8 million daily riders. The draft plan addresses heads of the priorities that we know need to be addressed, namely expedited recently the subway and other infrastructure upgrades, new vehicles and technology to reimagine our bus network, and massive acceleration of accessibility upgrades to give all New Yorkers the access to subway. And we have the customer service report on the subways by Sally Librera. There you see a picture of a wayfinder providing support to customers to help them navigate the service changes. The plan to modernize the 42nd Street shuttle to have it completely ADA accessible by 2022. And we're going to read this line right here. On-time performance improved in every line in the system with an average of 25% improvement on the letter B division and an average of 18.5% improvement on the A division. In August 2019, 11 of the 20 non-shuttle lines have an on-time performance of 80%, while only the L line was above 80% in 2018. While this is likely that performance will fluctuate somewhat from month to month, the unexpected work of the Subway Action Plan and the cultural shifts driven by a year of safe seconds and the long-term vision of Fast Forward have a set of new baselines of performance and a commitment to continuous improvements that we expect to continue. We're going to read this from now. This summer also saw strides to improve accessibility in the subway system. In addition to other upgrades and repairs along the N line, along the Sea Beach line, we opened new elevators at the New Utrecht 62nd Street stations along the N and the D lines, making both stations and transfer passageway between them accessible to all. And also we began work on the 42nd Street Shuttle project, which will fully modernize the shuttle, which was part of the original subway that opened back in 1904. When complete, the entire Times Square station complex, the busiest in our system, will be fully accessible and the shuttle will operate from one long platform instead of three used today. And we have the subways we have the subway weekday major incidents. In tracks, they saw over the okay. Major incident discussion. There were 38 weekday major incidents in August, a new low since 2015, when historical data from this metric began. There was a reduction of 20. This is a reduction of 24 compared to a year ago. and a decrease of 17 compared to July 2019. There were only 10 signal major incidents, a decrease of 63% from last August, and the lowest is 2015, when historical data from this metric began. The only category saw an increase from last August was person on track bed, police, and medical. And here are the results. 97% system-wide, with an increase of 1.3%. On the letter lines saw only a 0.7% increase, and on the number lines, the increase was 2.1. And here are the percentage of delivery. The one line saw an increase of 2%. The two saw a decrease. The three saw a decrease. But throughout the A division, the one that saw the most substantial increase is the 7 with 6.8%, 95 versus 89. And the second one is the 6, 97 versus 92. On the B division, exempting the Walkaway Park shuttle and the Franklin Avenue shuttle, the N saw a 2.3% increase, 97 versus 95. And that's the highest increase on the ledger lines. And then with 1.6% of improvements, we have the M, 95 versus 93. And then following the M, my bad, we skipped the E with an increase of 1.8%, 95 versus 93, and the D, 1.6% increase, 99 versus 97. The C remained unchanged at 96%. The W, the Q, and the A saw an increase of 1.4% each. But those lines that saw a decrease, the biggest one is the R with 0.9% increase, 95 versus 96. And then we have the L with 1.7% decrease, and this is due to the L train project. Meanwhile, on the weekdays, on the weekends, on the 3, the data is not available because of plan work. The 3 only ran one weekend on 2019. And again, on the weekends, the lines that saw the most improvements is the 4, the 7. Let's say in all the letter lines, they saw increase except the 1. On the letter lines, we have the A with 1.8%. And we have additional platform time improved 9.1% from August 2018, and an improved 7.5% in the 12-month average. And this is the average additional platform time. The customer journey time. The mean distance between failure remains in the same average, 12-month average. And we already have 238 R179s in property. And the significant improvements in the mean distance between failure in August was due in part to a more reliable air conditioning system. This summer, there were 30% fewer hot cars than last summer. That's a good news. August 2019 12-month average mean distance between failure for the new technology cars was 208,072, the highest since August 2013. The New York City subway fleet is now made of 55% new technology subway cars, and the R32 and R42 cars had the lowest mean distance between failure as they are the oldest cars in the system with 222 and 50. There's 752 R46, 315 R62, 824 R62As. There's 425 R68, 200 R68A. There's 1030 R142. The original R142A, 220, 212 143, 1662 R160s. As we mentioned earlier, 238 R179s, 126 R188, and 380 of the R142 slash R188. We have the elevator and escalator availability. The terminal on-time performance. System-wide is 84%. And we have the train delays, 24 for the month of August. Oh, that was for August. This one is for um, this one was in July. In in July, the mean distance between failure, so the largest increase in the A division led by the R142A, R188, R62A. But they don't mention if it's the new ones or the converted from the R142A. In the poorest performing cars continue to be the R42, which operate very limited service until their retirement. So they only have 50 cars, and you will only see it on the J and Z lines. Customers, now we have the bus report by Greg Cipriano. In August 2019, service delivery declined by 0.1% compared to August 2018, while that same percentage point saw 12-month average. The way assessment, the monthly, and for the 12-month average, the mean distance between failure, the bus report. And the service delivered was for July was on average. And now we have a paratransit. We have the accessibility update. Strategy and customer experience. And this report will be bought by Patricia Imbro in delegation for Sal Meyer, who is in maternal leave. Let's go to safety. The crime report by Chief De La Torre. The robberies on August saw an increase. In August, 56 versus 44. Federal assaults decrease in August in August 29 versus 31. The total arrest Here's the hate crime report. The crime name by Transit District. On Transit District 1 saw an increase on Semitic and sexual orientation. And this is the associated hate crime task force complaint numbers in Staten Island. Financial and ridership reports. Let's see what else we have. Okay, we have let's see what else we have. Okay, now we have capital program. Um, it is 7:43. We're gonna take a small break, and we'll be right back with more. And welcome back to this reading of the MTA committee materials for September 2019. This is your host Jason Anthony on this Friday, September 20th, 2019. We're right now on page 319 of the New York City Transit Material Book, where starts capital construction. And as you guys see in that picture, improvement on the Soya de March Boulevard on the NW was completed this summer, included the repair of concrete and steel structures as well as the platform and station mezzanines. The station also features new entrances, staircases, railings, canopies, and upgraded communication system that includes Hellpoint intercoms. And now, Procurements with Steve Bachaki. And they're showing here two pictures of before and after 18th Avenue along the Sea Beach line, receiving improvements in structural upgrades. The above before and after picture depict reconstructed platform, including new tactile warning strip, architectural wall panels, new lighting, wireway, and permanent artwork installed by artist Emilio Perez, featuring glass mosaics. The station also received water leak remediation and polymer positive site whitening. All the station improvements included an upgrade communication system, countdown clocks, Hellpoint intercoms, and security cameras. And one of the ratifications for board approval is the modification to contract to furnish and deliver 110 new low-floor 60-foot articulated compressed natural gas in order to incorporate a series of technical changes on 110 low-floor CNG. Okay, now we have the service changes on the bus schedules effective 2020. we have one bus route will be converted to Arctic. Yay! And we're talking about the B46 Select bus service that should have been Arctic since the very beginning. And for routes, the S5393, the Q55, and the Q28 are getting more service to ensure that adequate bus capacity is available to meet customer demands. My apologies. We have the standard follow-up reports. Let's see what else we have for transit. And of course, we're talking about 491 pages in New York City Transit. We have the fare ratio report. Fare ratio in the second quarter of 2019 was 30.9%, which is flat compared to the previous quarter that was also 3.9%. And as you see, between April and June 2019, the estimated loss of revenue 25 million, 24 million in between January and March. If we add those amounts, it's already 500 million. No, my bad. 5 and 4, that's 9. 49 million. $49 million alone. In buses, it's up 11.8%, 25 versus 22. And the biggest jump is on buses, on the locals. Now we have the EEO report, the workforce. Same thing as the LIRR, but you see a 8% difference between the LIRR and New York City Transit in terms of women working the workforce. New hires and veterans, the same thing. Let's see what else we have. The allocations report. More reports. Now we're going to finance, and then right after that, CPOC. Let's go with finance first. 272. We have the 2019 work plan, budget watch, and let's see what we have in the finance committee. Hmm. Fare not collected, Metro North. Okay, fare not collected, Metro North. August. And so a decrease. 7 versus 5. Incorrect fare. Credit card chargeback. E-text. Fare not collected year to date. For Long Island Railroad. In August, the fare not collected rate went down. 8 versus 5. And they're slightly, let's say, near goal. Year to date, no, this is July. See, in July, it went up. Fare not collected, 7 versus 6. And it's 8 o'clock already. New York City Transit fare evasion. Local and SBS. So we're not going to go through all the finance book. Now we're going to CPOC. What we're gonna have this month at CPOC? Obviously, we will have updates and stations, the IEC project review on the Sea Beach line, update on the Center Recovery and Resiliency, IEC project review on the Coney Island Yard, 12th Street Yard, and Clifton Yard. So on the station update, okay, we have projects awarded. Renewal project on 138th Street Grand Concourse. Escalator realignment project on J Street Rental Tech. Stations completed. Epic fail! At Ditmars Boulevard along the Sawyer line is not the N and the Q, it's the N and the W. In other words, the nugget and the waffle, not the nugget and the queso. Because the queso is running to 96th Street, 2nd Avenue. Now they're showing pictures on page 14. Two pictures of Astoria de Mars. Component repair at 121st, 111th, and 104th Street on the Jamaica Avenue line. You see here 121st on the Jamaica Avenue line it's already completed. And also we have to schedule a station tour to tour that station. And also on 104th Street. And we have two pictures of a refurbished stairs at Bergen Street on the Eastern Parkway line. Bowery on the Nassau Street line. 155th Street on the 8th Avenue line. ADA accessibility out of 493. We have key stations 87 and additional stations 36, total 123. And here's what we have. Key 88 stations, 13 remaining. We have one final design that will be for 68th Street Hunter College on the Lexington Avenue line. Construction of elevators at Bedford Avenue on the Canarsie line. 57th Street, 7th Avenue on the Broadway line. 86th Street, 4th Avenue on the 4th Avenue line. Bedford Park Boulevard on the Concourse line. Gun Hill Road on the Dyer Avenue line. Greenpoint Avenue on the Crosstown line, Astoria Boulevard on the Astoria line, Eastern Parkway Brooklyn Museum on the Eastern Parkway line, Chambers Street on the Nassau Street line, 59th Street, 4th Avenue on the 4th Avenue line, Canarsie on the Canarsie line, and Times Square on the shuttle. And here are the stations that will 23 in terms of pre-design. We have Bay Ridge and the R, Broadway Junction, Eastern Parkway, Fulton Street, and Van Sinderen Avenue. We thought that the ANC was not going to be included, but it will be included. Of course, Tremont Avenue on the Concourse line, Lecture Avenue on the Culver line. In terms of design, we have 6th Avenue on the L, 14th Street. Okay, these three right here, 6th Avenue, 14th Street, and 14th. Okay, 6th Avenue on the L and 14th Street on the 1, 2, 3 F and M are part of the L train project. 8th Avenue on the Sea Beach line, 149th Street Grand Concourse on the White Plains Road line and the Jerome Avenue line, Woodhaven Boulevard, the Jamaica Avenue line, Court Square on at the Crosstown line, 170th Street on the Jerome Avenue line, that will be city funded, Livonia Avenue on the L, that will be city funded, Queensboro Plaza, yay! That will be added also, and also will be city funded. And as you guys know, Queensboro Plaza is that station where you have the 7, the N, and the W. That station is heavily used, and plus you have the JetBlue headquarters and the main offices of the Department of Health and Mental Hygiene of the City of New York. Westchester Square, Tremont Avenue on the Pelham line, Avenue H on the Brighton line. I think that station is already accessible, but not entirely. We will have to confirm with the with the Yep, Avenue H is going to be fully, because right now only the southbound is accessible. And also we have First Avenue, Union Stretch 62nd Street. These two were open already. Work on progress, the Astoria Boulevard. The accessibility portion. The canopy replacement. The platform reconstruction. 59th Street, 4th Avenue. The installation of a elevator. And on page 31, the IAC is saying develop a conceptual accessibility plan and calls for each station, a priority of the fast forward plan. Evaluation on the way for the remainder 350. In 2018, 150 stations were surveyed as scheduled. 152 additional station surveys will be completed by the end of September 2019, and a balance of 48 stations will be surveyed by the end of 2019. Next steps, fast forward calls at least 50 stations will be accessible in the 2024, subject to funding availability. And maintains fast forward plans ADA investment strategy no more than 2 stations away. Evaluate and advance ADA projects for scoping and design. And we have the Sea Beach. And now the IEC report on the Sea Beach line that starts on page 39. Progress since 2019. On July 1st, 2019, southbound platforms were reopened. 18 days later, 4 new elevators at Newton Stretch and 62nd Street were placed in service. The majority of the original contractual construction work is complete. Original SCI award December 30th, 2018. Forecast SC October 31st, 2019. Remaining project leads, leak remediation, 8th Avenue elevator. They're saying the fabrication, material availability, delivery, testing, and commissioning delays may impact the October 31st, 2019 place in service date of a new northbound elevator. New York City Transit is proactively monitoring all aspects of construction and testing to ensure the elevator acceptance date is achieved. The Sandy Recovery and Resiliency Projects, Coney Island Yard, 148th Street Yard, 12th Street Yard, Clifton Yard. The rehabilitation 9 on the river tunnels. We have 7 that were completed. 1 is on the way, and we have the Butler Street that will be last. Let's see which other safety report. Let's read a little bit about the safety report to see what the safety committee. but basically in each 17, no big deal. So, that being said, let's see. Now let's do like a mini updates on service, and we have several issues to report. We have delays on the L train. We have 8th Avenue bound L trains running with delays because of a signal malfunction at Atlantic Avenue. And also we have northbound A and D trains are running at slower speeds near 59th Street, Columbus Circle because of a signal malfunction. And also Broad Street bound J trains are running slower speeds, same issue near 121st Street. And we have some issues on the LIRR. We have the 617 train from Jamaica due to Montauk at 907 operating 16 minutes late due to equipment trouble at Jamaica. And also we have the 739 train from Patchogue due to Babylon at 809. It's operating 13 minutes late due to an eastbound train with earlier equipment trouble. Nothing on Metro North. Let's go to AJT. We have the North Jersey Coastline 33 train number 3373. The 7:35 p.m. train from Eberron is running until 15 minutes late due to an earlier congestion from a late train ahead. Let's check the Raritan Valley line. Nothing on the Raritan Valley line. And as a reminder, New Jersey Transit Rail will be offering rail service between Secaucus Junction and MetLife Stadium for the Romeo Santos concert tomorrow night. Let's check on the Mars Nexus lines. We have the Mars Nexus line train 6659, the 729 train from Short Hills is up to 25 minutes late due to equipment trouble. There was one canceled train, that was the 650 train from Penn Station. Was canceled due to engineer availability. Let's check on the main and Bergen line. Nothing there. On the McClare-Button line, we have the train 1085, the 722 train from Hoboken is subject to 25 minutes delay due to equipment trouble. And also we have a canceled train. We have the 932 train from Penn Station, the train number 6295. It's canceled. Customers are advised to use train 6297 that departs at 10:41 from Penn. Nothing on the Paxcat Body line, and nothing on the Atlantic City Rail line. Now we have northbound six trains are running express from GCT to 125th. Well, we request medical assistance to help someone at 96th Street. Expect delays on the 4, 5, and 6 trains. And as a reminder, for all information regarding Monday's meeting, you could always follow me on Twitter at JasonBX0619, Matt Camper, MattCamper1994, Andy's Randomness, Chromo Corruption, among others. And as a reminder, we will be on Monday at MTA headquarters. Let's say technically all day, like we do every month, reporting the incidents during each committee. And on, let's say, Wednesday, we will have the the full board meeting. So that being said, let's see who is online. All right, thank you for that, Matt. I'll be sure that you will be taking a look at the materials at your own pace. But as a reminder, stay tuned for Matt Camper's Twitter page and YouTube page, my social network as well, like always. And remember, if you drop something into the tracks, don't take the risk in going down there and pick it up. Reach a near MTA employee or NYPD officer or use a system of help point intercom. Another message. Don't throw garbage into the tracks. That triggers fire. Find a garbage receptacle and put it in there. And as always, stay back from the platform edge, because you could be either hit by a train or pushed by someone that could do very cynical things. And we don't want to add one more person to the list of people that either got injured or got killed by a train. Your safety is first than anything. And with this said, we want to conclude this live stream for this Friday night. Thank you for joining us and enjoy your weekend.